Hello, and welcome back to another segment of Rate the Leadership. I am your host, Jai Mays. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I've got a short but very good show for you today. I want to talk to you about a subject that is very, 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 very sensitive. And a lot of people really believe in this. And because I am a Christian, it's just certain things that I cannot agree with or go along with, especially when I know it is ruining young people. So, before we get started, we have our lovely commandments, we have rate the leadership, and we also have our thumbs up and our thumbs down. And today we're going to rate the leadership of the governors, some of them. I picked out a couple. And then we're going to rate the leadership of Congress, all in the Democratic Party of what they are fighting so hard for. And what they're fighting for is trans rights. They are fighting because, let me give you guys the background. President Trump took office January 2025. And one of his first executive orders was declaring that a man is a man and a woman is a woman, which, let's all keep it real, that is the truth. That is the truth scientifically, it is the truth biblically, and it is the truth with common sense knowledge. So, ever since he did that, he also signed an executive order to get boys and men out of women's and girls' sports and spaces. And do you know a lot of these governors, and we're going to talk about two of them right now, and there's a host of mayors, but do you know these governors are fighting against him to keep what we would call misinformation and I don't know if I can say these things on YouTube. I'm going to say lunacy, because we all know for a fact that a male cannot become a female and a female cannot become a male. We all know that biologically, men carry the seed, which the woman comes along and the seed grabs the egg, and then that's how new humans are procreated. It takes the male and the female. But I want to know in this segment, do you think them fighting for these issues to remain in this ideology, do you think them fighting for this ideology to remain in our country will be good for the country, or will it be detrimental for the country? The reason why I ask is because I've read a lot of history, and I've read about the rise and fall of nations. And what I have read is usually the nations fall because of abominations and sin and lawlessness. And I'm going to be honest, you all, unless our country, America, does something to stop this ideology, America's going to fail and the population is going to decline. Why? Because anytime you are making people or telling people to switch genders, they're cutting off a lot of reproductive members that aid in procreating. Okay, so anytime you are championing this ideology, you're championing depopulation and mental illness. That is just my opinion. All of these platforms are everyone's opinion. This is my opinion, so I want to get into it. And at the end of this video, you all tell me, what do you think? Do you think these ideologies that they're fighting so hard to keep will lift the nation up, or will it ruin the nation? And think about this from a biblical perspective. Will God bless a nation that is mutilizing children and turning people into a total different image other than what God had originally planned for male and female? You let me know. So here we go. Let's get started. I want to start with Governor Pritzker of of Illinois. He's the governor of Illinois, and he is getting ready to tell us what he is fighting for and what he has done for Illinois. Now, mind you, Illinois is, I call it Gotham City. It's crime city between Illinois and New York, baby. There is crime all over the place and lawlessness. But you tell me, as a governor of the state, Is this a good idea for him to do? So let's get into this. And we'll start right now.
And Medicaid to cover gender-affirming surgeries. We brought inclusive LGBTQ plus curriculum into our schools so that all students now learn about the contributions of queer and trans trailblazers from Marsha P. Johnson and Harvey Milk. The State Board of Education is implementing gender inclusive policies to ensure is the most diverse administration in state history.
So does that explain the diversity, the equity, and inclusion to everyone? A lot of people are up in the uproar because Trump did away with DEI, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion. But he just gave you a firsthand look of what diversity, equity, and inclusion really is. But don't take my word for it. I want you to hear from another governor, and he's going to tell you what he's doing. And this is Governor Tim Walz in Minnesota. Let's see how he feels about this.
Any damn executive order they want from Washington, D.C., because in the state of Minnesota, it's my privilege to make sure that I therefore declare Monday, March 31st, 2025, as Transgender Day of Visibility across the state of Minnesota.
Okay, you guys saw that. So that's two governors, Governor Pritzker, Governor Walz. Now what I want to do is I want to go back to this, and where Governor Walz was, I'm going to take Tim Walz down, put Governor Walz up. I want to show you how a lot of these Congress folks, we're going to find it here on my X. There are some Congress folks that walked out because the Trump administration will not let them keep funding transgender surgeries for inmates. Guys, you can't make this up. Look at this. Look at this. Look at these people actually walking out. Man.
I better get in there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I figured the leader walk, I can walk with her.
Notice he said, if the leader walk, I can walk with her. So all of these, mind you, all of these people are walking out because the Trump administration will not continue to take taxpayer money to fund transgender surgeries to inmates, criminals. Okay, so you want us to take our taxpayer money to reward criminals and let them change their sex and this is crazy, guys. It's not, listen, this is just my opinion. But do you think America is going too far? And do you think this will be a nation that God blesses if these people don't stop this? Let's keep going.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And they're standing on business. I have never, now listen, I'm a Black woman, okay? Usually, from what I've grown up to know, I've always thought that Black women were pretty conservative. I mean, I grew up with them all in church, but to see all of these Black women and Black men, because I'm speaking on behalf of my nation, to see all of them walking out because they are upset that the Trump administration does not want to take taxpayer money and fund transgender surgeries for inmates. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you want to fund sin with sin. We want to reward criminals and change them into Baphomets. Is that what you guys want to do? Listen, to me, this is bad leadership. I'm going to give them a thumbs down because I know that God will not bless a nation that is full of abominations. And you guys can say what you want. You can feel the way you want to feel. This is my channel, and this is my opinion. I'm really scared for the United States if these people don't break out of this. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I better get in there.
And that's the end of that. Now I'm going to bring to the stage now, I'm going to show you people protesting in the streets for this ideology. And you let me know, will a nation thrive or will it fail? There's that. Folks, I showed you a few examples of people standing on business for an abomination that maketh desolate. And it's really sad to see that the country that I live in is standing on business for Satan's policies. And I'm praying for our nation. I'm praying that the people wake up out of this. But I want to know what you think. Again, I've told you what I think. I think anytime you bring this in, that's going to cause depopulation because that cannot procreate. The way God set it up with male and female, that's what procreates. And I've also learned that when they introduce this stuff to these children, it causes mental illness. See, in the Garden of Eden, Eve knew nothing. It was Satan that put the ideas in her head. And I believe this is happening right now with our youth. I believe evil seeds are being planted in our children's minds. And we as believers in Christ and conservatives, we've got a fight on our hands, but we've got Christ. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me on this segment of Rate the Leadership. I give the leadership, honestly, a thumbs down. I think they're getting ready to crash this country. I think their policies will make this country pretty desolate. And I see a big division coming. But anyway, I want to know what you think. I'll see you on the next Rate the Leadership. Take care, guys.